Good morning and welcome to Edgewood Free Methodist Church Daily Encouragement Download. My name is Tom Kilburn. I'm one of the pastors on staff, and I just want to share a story with you about someone who lived out the scriptures and encouraged me, not just for a moment, but for my lifetime. It was my father-in-law. And when I was dating my wife years ago, I was visiting at their house in their kitchen, and my father-in-law ended up under the sink working on pipes under the sink. Now, as we all know, that's kind of across and up and in, and he was not in a comfortable position. But he asked his wife, he said, "Ava, would you give me that wrench over there?" And she had to cross over him to get the wrench to give it to him. And when she did, she stepped on his bad leg. Now, this man's 6 feet tall, 185 pounds, so he's not a little guy. And she stepped on his leg, and I thought, there's big trouble coming. And his response was, "Ava, I wish you wouldn't do that again." I have to tell you, folks, I was in the journey looking for Jesus, and I was trying to figure out how could this man do this. So today what we want to do is look at Matthew 5 through 9, and ask ourselves this question: how can we have that kind of an attitude? If you look at verse 5, you're going to see it says, "The meek will inherit the earth." Well, what does that mean? Having the meek, is that somebody who is meek towards people? Actually, it means humbleness towards God and that gentleness. And it's a quiet submission to God, and it's so quiet, so willing to follow that we become like Jesus, and that's where that blessing comes in, that we have a Jesus attitude. The next thing is, it talks about the hunger and thirst for righteousness' sake. And as we all know, we're all waiting for those restaurants to open up to get our favorite food, that we're just kind of hungering for that. That's the same kind of hunger and thirst we want to have for righteousness. But not just righteousness, but justice for the oppressed. It's a combination. And so we want to make sure that our insides are constantly saying, I want more. I want to get into this. I want to give more. I want to read more. I want to grow more in righteousness, and let it come out through my actions for the oppressed and by serving justice. Next, it talks about the merciful. And merciful, it's a compassion for souls. My mom and my mother-in-law and father-in-law were the kind of people who had compassion for their church. It was a little poor church. And it seemed like every Sunday, people would come to them and just hang out until they were the last people at the church. And my in-laws would say, "Well, what are you doing? You want to come to our house for dinner?" And I remember when I'd visit, I'd think, no, we don't want them to come to our house to eat the food that we have, because we don't have that much. But every Sunday almost, they would offer that, not just to give them food, but to show them the love of Christ. They loved the people, and they were compassionate. And that was one way that they showed it again and again. I learned a lot from that example. Next thing was the pure in heart. This one here is really, really the big crux of our Christian faith and staying true to the Lord. This is all about the center of who we are. It's our will, our mind, and our emotions all wrapped up together, all coming to work and say, I want to commit everything I am, think, do, whatever, to God, and commit purity, not according to the world, but according to God. And finally, it's the peacemakers. And those peacemakers promote peace. That's really important, especially when we look around today and, tensions are a little high, and we've been cooped up for a while, and we're having a hard time maybe with family and other people and situations. We need to learn to be peacemakers. We need to have God's character that says when we approach a situation, he will bring peace to it and find resolve. So in doing so, we become sons and daughters of God. So here's my question. When was the last time you took inventory of how you're doing as a peaceful, merciful, pure-hearted, hungry, meek person? I hope that's something we'll do this week, and we'll see that we can maybe improve, and then the Lord will bless us. Let's pray. Lord, thank you for these opportunities to come and share this truth. Help us, Lord, to be your children. In Jesus' name.